Okay, let's get started with the flatman circulatory model to look at the blood vessels. First one would be the superficial temporal artery. Next one would be the facial artery, which would be right here. So superficial temporal artery is right here. Facial artery is right here. Occipital artery is right here. And the posterior auricular artery is right here. The lingual artery is right here. And the common carotid artery right there. Common carotid artery. There's the trachea. There's the thyroid gland. The external carotid artery would be right here. External carotid artery right there. And internal carotid artery would be right here. So the external carotid artery and internal carotid artery. The superior thyroid artery, we go to the thyroid gland. It's right here. And here is the inferior carotid artery. The inferior thyroid artery right here. Inferior thyroid artery. And superior thyroid artery. So superior and inferior thyroid artery. Let's go to the torso region now. We've already done the carotid artery so far. So here is the carotid artery right here on the right side. Here's the carotid artery on the left side. So remember that it's going to branch into your external carotid artery and your internal right here. So this is your right carotid artery and left one. We have, of course, the aorta right here. So with the aorta, we have the ascending. This would be your aortic arch right here, that arch right there. And then we can see the brachiocephalic trunk right here. And you're going to be able to not see this, but the brachiocephalic trunk or artery is going to, of course, branch into the right subclavian, as you see right here, and then your right common carotid. This one right here is your left common carotid right here, which you see going up, and then this one right here is your left subclavian, as you see going up right here. Left subclavian. Left subclavian's here, going up right there. Okay, I've already shown you the brachiocephalic trunk here. This is your left common carotid. This one is your left subclavian. Okay, what else? I've already shown you the subclavian artery on the right side. This is your subclavian again. on the left side. We have the abdominal aorta. So this is your abdominal aorta right here. And we have the celiac trunk right here. Next one, we have the superior mesenteric right there. That next one right there. And then you have your inferior mesenteric right there. Okay. We have the renal artery. That's this one. On this side, on the right side. And then we have the renal artery on your left side, going to the kidney here and here. And we have the gonadal artery. Gonadal artery would be this one right here, going to the gonads, the testis or the ovary, on this side here. Okay. And then we have the right and left common carotid, the right and left iliac arteries here and here. The right here and the left here. And then of course they're going to then become your external iliac right here as you go further down. External, and you'll see your internal iliac right here on your left side, and the internal iliac on your right side. Okay. Sacral artery is this one right here. Okay. We have the veins now. Let me just show you. So we have right up here, this would be your jugular vein, as you see here on your right side. Left side here, the jugular, left jugular here. Next we have the superior vena cava right here. That's your superior vena cava. And let's see, superior vena cava, we have where the superior vena cava branches here, here, and here would be your brachiocephalic veins, right there and right there. And we have the subclavian veins right next to your subclavian arteries. So here's your subclavian vein on the right side, next to your subclavian artery on the right side. Likewise here, your subclavian vein right here, and your subclavian artery. Right up here you have your jugular vein and your common carotid artery. Okay. We have the pulmonary trunk. Okay, we look at the heart here. So we have the heart right here. Obviously, we have three big vessels here. Your pulmonary trunk right here. We have right behind it here the ascending aorta, or the aortic arch right there. And then right behind that you would have your superior vena cava. So we have, again, pulmonary trunk, aortic arch, and superior vena cava. What else do we have on the list? We have the pulmonary trunk branches. So if you look at the pulmonary trunk, it branches into your pulmonary veins. Notice it's colored blue because on the right side of your heart, that's going to be associated with deoxygenated blood or CO2 blood. And of course, if you look inside, it's going to be pushed up into the pulmonary valve here. Valve opens and lets the CO2 blood into the pulmonary trunk, and then of course we have the pulmonary arteries. That's going to then go into your pulmonary arterioles, and then of course to the capillaries to dump off the CO2 blood. Likewise here, you're going to have your pulmonary veins, which are red colored, and of course they're going to go into the left side of your heart. The pulmonary veins, the red color, carrying oxygenated blood from the lungs, go into the left side of your heart here, to the left atrium. Okay, so let's continue now. We have the inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava is right next to your abdominal aorta. So here's your inferior vena cava, right there, that big vessel there. And then you have I lost my place. Renal vein. So we have the renal artery right here. The renal vein is going to be right in front of the renal artery. And right here we have the renal vein on your left side, associated with your left kidney. And of course, right behind the renal vein, we have the renal artery. Okay? We have, what's next? The gonadal vein. Gonadal vein is going to be right here on this side, going down. And you can see likewise here, going down here. Okay? And then we have the right and left common iliac veins, the same place that you have your right and left iliac arteries. So we have the same type of situation here. The common iliac vein here and here on right and left side, here and here. We see that becomes the external iliac vein, and then we have the internal iliac vein on the right side, likewise on the left side. If you see that. Okay, we have the femoral vein right next to your femoral artery. So we see further on down femoral artery, and then of course the vein is right beside of it. Okay. We have the great saphenous vein right here, which is this big, large vein right here. Great saphenous vein. We have the spleen right here. Here's your spleen. Okay. And then we have the hepatic vein. So we see the hepatic vein right here. So here's your liver right here. And right here is your hepatic vein right there. Okay. What's next? We have the splenic artery here. And then we have the hepatic portal vein. right there. And let's see what else. Hepatic portal vein, and then we have the hepatic artery. That's this one right there. Right there is your hepatic artery. Going to the liver. And then we have your superior mesenteric vein again, superior mesenteric artery. So right here. And then we have the next one, inferior mesenteric artery, right there. That's supplying the intestines with oxygenated blood. And then we have your celiac trunk right there. So celiac trunk, superior mesenteric artery, inferior mesenteric artery. This one, remember, is your hepatic vein right there. And then your hepatic portal veins right there. And then your hepatic artery is right there. Splenic vein is right here, right next to your splenic artery. And we have the arm now. I'm going to be repeating some things here, probably. Here you have your subclavian artery here again. Subclavian artery right there. And then you have your axillary artery. I showed you the wrong thing. Okay. Arteries, or the artery is right here. And then your subclavian vein is right there, right next to it. So your subclavian artery is right here. Subclavian vein is right here. Okay? Now, further on down, you have around this area here somewhere the axillary artery. So subclavian artery, and your axillary artery is somewhere in here somewhere. And then, of course, your brachial artery is going to be the arm going down. Now, we have the deep brachial artery. That would be right there, that little tiny place right there. And then we have the thyrocervicular artery. That's this little branch right here. Your thyrocervicular artery is right there. Thyrocervicular artery right there. And then you have the thyroacromial artery right here. Thyroacromial artery is right here. I haven't shown you. So thyrocervicular artery here, and this one here is your thyroacromial artery. Okay? Now, we have the next one here, which I'll show you over here. Oh yeah, I needed to show you the ulnar artery and the brachial artery. So, if you look right here, we see the artery of the arm coming down. What is that? That would be your brachial artery going down. And we see that you have your dorsum of your hand shown, so we can see that the radius is moved over the ulnar bone, so we can pretty much see that this one here, that's going to be the, let's just move over here. So this one right here would be your radial artery here on this side. So here's your radial artery, the radius bone here. So radial artery is here. And then we have right here, that's the ulnar artery right here. Ulnar artery is right there. And we see over here, this one would be your radial artery here. Radial artery is right here, because we have the radius. We have the radius bone right here. So here's your radial artery, and then right here we have this artery here that's associated with your ulnar bone. That's the ulnar artery. So radial artery and ulnar artery. And let's see what we got. We got a few more left. We have the deep pulmonary arch over on here. So here's your deep pulmonary arch here. And this would be the superficial pulmonary arch. Okay, so we've got a few veins to look at. So I've already shown you the subclavian vein right here. So here's your subclavian vein here on this side, as well as over here. Here's your subclavian vein right next to your subclavian artery. Okay, now you can follow it on down here. Obviously we can see that you have this vein right here. This one is your cephalic vein here. Your cephalic vein here, just branching off. So we got the subclavian vein, and then of course this one right here is your brachial vein that's shown. And then this one right here is your basilic vein. As you see, it's going down here. Basilic vein is right there, brachial vein, and cephalic vein. And we have the median cubital vein right here. Median cubital vein. And then we have the dorsal venous network of the hand, which is right there. Okay. Alright, so now we're ready for the leg. So a lot of this stuff right here is what we've done before. So remember, we got your common iliac artery right here and right here, right and left side respectively. Then you have your external iliac artery moving on down, internal iliac artery likewise here, your external and internal. And you have, like right here and right here, your femoral arteries, right and left. And then we have moving on down, so this is your femoral artery moving on down, and then we have the deep femoral artery, like right here. So femoral artery, deeper femoral artery, deep femoral artery. And then we can see on this side here, you can see the same thing. Oh, not showing you the right thing. So we have the femoral artery, and then we have the deep femoral artery, which goes deeper. And then we have the popliteal artery, so it's going down the femoral artery, eventually becomes your popliteal artery. And then of course that's then going to become your posterior tibial artery, as we see here, posterior tibial artery. So femoral artery, popliteal artery, and then your posterior tibial artery. Okay. We have right here in front of the tibia the anterior tibial artery, and on this side you can see your anterior tibial artery as we see here. Okay. Okay, let's do some more here. We have the dorsal artery of the foot. Right there. Okay. All right. So now I want to do the veins. So we go right back up here. A lot of repeat again. Common iliac vein here on the left side, and of course your right side here. And then we have the external iliac here, external here, and internal iliac. Bear with me. It's right here next to your internal iliac artery. And then right here is your internal iliac artery on the right side. Okay. And then of course we have your femoral artery right there on right and left side here and here. Okay. So now, so this particular model just shows you the great saphenous vein here. So let me see, it goes all the way down here. You see, excuse me, and then this right here is your small saphenous vein here, and we have the last one here. This is your dorsal venous arch right there. Okay, and that's pretty much it for the Flatman model arteries and veins. This shows you the heart right here, and I showed you everything here with the heart. Remember, pulmonary trunk, your aortic arch, superior vena cava. You open it up and we can see some features here. Well, let me just show you this here. So this right here would be your right auricle of your right atrium. This is your left auricle right here of the left atrium, ventricles here and here. You can see your left coronary artery here, your right coronary artery here, and of course your branches and such. Okay. Inside of the heart now we have the right atrium, and we have of course the tricuspid valve right here, and then we can see the ventricle right here. This is your left ventricle here. This is the mitral valve right here. This is the mitral valve or bicuspid valve. That's tricuspid valve, mitral valve right here, or bicuspid valve. We see right here the pulmonary veins coming in, carrying oxygenated blood. This is your left atrium here. Pulmonary valve here. And if you, I don't know if you can see it or not, this would be the aortic valve here. Okay, I just wanted to show you a little bit of the heart. Okay, that's it.